So the weather is actually pretty decent. We have most overcast for today. So my intent was just to do some of the container gardening and you know, clean up and everything like that. But I think I may work on this garden bed as well, getting it weeded out and thinned out too, because it has a lot of vinca growing in there. It has a lot of the native salvia, which I only want specimen plants, the larger ones growing in here. And it has rain lilies in here too. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this started, and hopefully I can knock out most of it today, because that would be absolutely wonderful, just getting it all cleaned up. I love it because I used it as a red, white, and blue bed. So I definitely want to get this set up and ready to go for the holidays. So come along for the ride. So here is the garden. We call this a tree garden. So we do have a birdhouse that I need to clean out because it was a wren, and it's already gone. And then, so you can see here, these are the native red salvias. They need to be trimmed back. They do have powdery mildew just because it gets so wet through here because of the sprinklers, but it doesn't affect them, so I'm not going to make a big deal. It doesn't bother the vinca or the blue bonnets or the rain lily, so not a big deal. So you can see this big giant patch of vinca. We're going to thin that out. I already thinned it out earlier this spring, but it definitely is thick again. Tons of blue bonnets, rain lilies, and of course some oak tree saplings, and also the salvias. They reseed themselves. So they're gorgeous. They're beautiful, beautiful bright red. Then we have the day flowers. Those are wildflowers, and I really don't, I like them and I don't like them. I love them when they're blooming, but they only bloom in the morning, and when they're not blooming, they look like weeds. So I don't know. I've already removed quite a bit, but we'll see if we'll remove more. Again, look at all this salvia, and they see themselves in the grass. So I'll be trying to remove some of those from the grass as well. You can see more vinca. Those are the ones that we intentionally replanted here. And then that is a wild grapevine. Muscadine, grapevine. So I'm going to be pulling that out because I definitely don't want that there. And again, clean all this out, prune all this, get these weeds out. This is wildly taken over, and it's going to look so much better. So hopefully the humidity stays low, and the sun's coming back out, but it's usually dappled sun in here, so I'm usually pretty good. But this will be definitely a good clean out. It'll make me feel so much better as well. Maybe a 2-day job depending on how hot it gets today, but at least if I can get majority of this out, I'll feel so much better. So this salvia sage is the same as that red one, excuse me, the black and blue. Oh, it's a sage. So the concept of pruning is going to be the same for this one. So I'm just taking it back to the first set of double leaves, and then they'll flush back out. These calyxes don't look the same as, take this one out, this one's laying sideways. The calyxes on the black and blue salvia are actually still beautiful. They're like that dark color, where these just look spent. So unfortunately, we do have the dogs that do come in here, and that's very frustrating because they'll urinate and defecate in here, which is very frustrating, right? Because nobody wants that in their flower beds. And these are the red salvias. Not keeping them. So these do reed seed themselves. I'm pretty sure the black and blue will not. So I've decided to keep the day flowers until after 4th of July, and then I'll pull them out. Because it would be nice just to have that beautiful blue color, because it is a true blue. And it's very rare, not very rare, but it's hard to find flowers with that true blue color. So my thought is, I think I'm going to weed first. I'm going to weed and then remove the salvia. And then I'll come and I will thin out the vinca. I think that's going to be the best bet for today. Because then I can have an area where I can actually, container that I can put the vinca in. And then I can see where I can already replant as well. Okay, I'm going to continue doing this all the way around the bed, and I'll bring you back intermittently so you can see the progress. Half of the way done. So like I said, I'm just weeding right now, and then I'll come in and thin the vincas and get that tidied up. And I need to plant another salvia there. This one died, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the dogs. And then I'm up to this area here. So I just pruned these two here, these two salvias. And so I'm stopping plants right here. So it's literally halfway. I'm gonna stop for lunch and come back and conquer the rest. So many seedlings, crazy. So right now, all I'm focused on is weeding and thinning. So getting the weeds out. I'm also thinning out all these baby salvias that have reproduced because of these right here, the calyxes. So I just need to be more vigilant and making sure I trim those off before they dry and become seeds. I am keeping all of the vincas right now and the lupins, and just removing the salvia. So the concerns that I have right now in this flower bed is, of course, the squirrel activity in here, and because they will dig things up, unfortunately, and the dogs, because the dogs go and relieve themselves in here, so they will take out some plants. So I am trying to get this thinned out as much as possible right now, and then I will transplant vincas. So my thought was to do a potentially just one single border, I guess you would say. And then in some areas, I may add several more, just so they're kind of, like little grouping. So we'll see how many how many vinca we have left. Now, these are the dayflowers, and I had showed you yesterday, some are actually still in bloom, but this is what it looks like when they die back, because they only last basically for the morning, and then they turn into this, right? And then it looks horrible, it looks like a weed. So I'm going to turn you this way just a bit so you can actually see them that are beautiful blue. I don't know if you can see that, and I love them, but they're only there for half a day. So again, I'm going to leave them there, I think, until the 4th of July, so I can fleece in the morning. And if they grow between plants, I think that won't be so noticeable versus potentially weeds, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with those. Now, they look like they may be getting some kind of rust on them. So I'm pulling those out that have rust, or look like they have rust, because I'm not gonna deal with that, right? So I'll take those out already. They will grow back because it's a tuber, so they'll be fine. But I'm going to continue removing these salvia. It's painstaking work, but in the end, it's going to be worth it. Again, not that they're bad, it's just too many. Last year, I just let them go. I thinned them out here and there, but it was just so dense. And I just kind of want to have a different look here in the garden. So, interesting enough, I do want to show you, I have been finding seeds, cactus. So these are prickly pear cactus babies here in this garden. So our closest prickly pear from here is right there. I don't know if you can see it. So I would say maybe 50 feet, 35 feet. So I have to assume, I'm assuming that is because of seed distribution from, either the squirrels or raccoons or birds eating the fruit and then getting them over here. All right, there we go. All right, so we're here to the densely populated area of the garden, and I'm pretty excited because this is pretty much, you know, done with the weeding portion of it. So I have a little tub here just in case I have to pull out any vincas, but I want to keep probably 8 to 10 good salvia to put in the front yard. I think I had discussed this in our previous video. So we're weed thinning, and I'm going to be cutting down the day flowers down low. So this way, as they are going back, hopefully the vinca and the bubonics will be established, and then they'll start growing through them. So here we go. Well, I forgot to say, I do have a tub, a bucket to put the salvia. So make sure that I don't have any other plants in here. And then I'm turning these up. This is so much better already. I'm going to pull these vincas just because of the proximity. And that's the day flower, and that's the root. It's like a tuber, oh, corm. Oh, I was trying to sprinkle. Oh, sorry, oak sapling. I pulled probably out over 40 saplings, oak saplings. I am so glad this section of the garden is done. So last bit is this back here, which I had said that I have the oxblood lilies back here, but you can see we have a lot of, you can see right there, those are oak saplings. We have several oak saplings down here, and a lot. I would say at least 12 to 15. Salvia, of course, have made their way over here just because of course these are here, and weeds. So my intent is to remove this oxblood lilies so you can actually appreciate them when they're blooming. So because they come up in the fall and the salvia is still in place. I thought this would be cool as a little nook, but you know, you want to be able to appreciate them, and we can't. So we're gonna remove that salvia that's growing right there in the crook of the tree. I think it's kind of cool, but probably not the best thing for the tree. So that's my last bit for today. I'm pretty excited what we did. So I did move 2 of the blue bonnets here. They were in with the other salvia that I was pulling out. Same thing with that little itty bitty seedling. So I just put them in the ground, back in the ground when I removed the other plant and watered them in. So hopefully they do well. So now we have a good little band of blue bonnets going through there, and we already have some existing vinca in this area. And then these were from, they had self-seeded themselves. So tomorrow I'll be out, and I'll be, my intent is to thin out all of the vinca and then plant them up and around. So I think that will be nice. I want to try moving them away from the bricks because it does look sweet on them on the bricks. However, when my husband is cutting the grass, the wheels sometimes go over the bricks, and I don't want him to damage them, and they will grow. So I need to move the stems at least 6 to 8 inches from the bricks, and then we'll get those up and around. So my last bit again is weeding that little corner area, and then I'll show you what that looks like, and then we'll wrap up this video, and I will do a new video when I go to move all of the vincas and blue bonnets in their places. I'm gonna trim these up just so I could get in here better. This is gonna do absolutely nothing to the salvia. If anything, it's gonna reinvigorate it. Oh, the cactus. I wonder how these cactuses got here. There's a good number of them right here. Oh, interesting. Seven, 8, 9, 9, baby, oh, 10. And I already pulled out, what, 2 from this area? Much easier to get out as babies. Oh, there's another one, 11. Three more. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I've already lost count of how many cactuses there are, cacti babies. It's crazy. That is all tidied up to include that little piece right there on the tree, and that's all that's left is the oxblood lilies. And so I'll remove those in part 2, and so I'm going to figure out where I'm going to plant those. And in addition, I need to move a salvia to that side, so I'm going to move this one over there just because it's just so awkwardly spaced from this one to that one to that one. And then this way it gives us a little bit more breathing room in this area, and we can see what's going to go back there. So I have a couple of options, and I can't wait to see what makes the cut. So the end of part 1. I'm pretty happy with the progress we're at. Again, I'm gonna, like I did trim out those down there, I'm going to trim out all the daylilies, so this way they start at ground zero. And then we'll be thinning out the vinca, moving those around, so we have a consistent placing of all of them, and potentially the blue bonnets as well. I'll tidy up that salvia growing out of the tree as well, and trim up the what is that called, like those sprouts, limbs, baby branches, so we can get that, tidy that up. We'll be cleaning up this asparagus fern. This came from my parents' property in California, so I was pretty excited about that. What I would like is for it to actually grow on the oak tree, so I'm going to see how I can get that introduced. And then it did, dies back in the winter and then comes back full force, so I'm pretty excited. And it does have some new sprouts, so I'll show that to you as well. Yeah, this is here a salvia. Poor thing is so little. Maybe I won't, because I was tempted to plant one right there. Maybe I won't, although it would look good. Maybe I'll just leave it just like that, and leave this area more of a, annuals area. So we won't even worry about that. So pretty happy Bluebonnet still blooming its little head off. So beautiful. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And then the vincas that I pulled out, I'm leaving them in their container so they can go ahead and continue receiving water. Thanks so much for stopping on by. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of blue skies and white puffy clouds here in the great state of Texas. Excuse my red face. It's a little hot, a little humid, and pure joy. Love getting into the garden. Love making things beautiful. Get my hands in soil. It makes my heart happy, and I hope it does to you. And I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye.